Hello. All right. Finish up my coffee. Making that. Can you hear that? This is what I use. Pour my coffee into this tea strainer. Works well. Far less cleanup. Because let's face it, I'm tired. Wake up. I gotta get this done. Gotta get coffee in a cup. So, all right. Let's start the show. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today is Thursday, May 30th, 2019. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. Okay, new life plan. I sleep more, but still drink coffee. Yes, let's do that. Oh, man. Okay, I haven't caught up on sleep. I've pretty much maintained. Maybe I've caught up a little bit. Last night was like another 7 hours. And tonight's probably going to be less. So let's get into it. Let's go into it. I got some questions I'm going to answer, but let's talk about. I'll tell you about yesterday. There was not a lot to say, but the short version is this consulting work that I'm doing to fund life and whistlekick is going amazingly well. The connections I'm making with people, the referrals that I'm getting, just mind-blowing. I'm excited, and I think this is going to work. And the exciting part about that for you as a viewer is that means it's going to be good for whistlekick, because that means there's going to be money to put back in, which means new products and the revised business model, which means I don't have to live on that money, which means whistlekick can grow, which means all these great things. So super stoked on that. Man, that bug did a number on my knee. Get this bug bite. Ugh. Actually, that might be a spider bite, as aggressive as that is. What was yesterday? Coached some CrossFit, had some meetings, did some work, came home. Went and had drinks with a friend. That turned into a business meeting at his office with his staff on Monday. And then I came home and did some more work and got to bed at like 10:30. Why am I up until 10:30? Because I'm running out of time. My flight leaves tomorrow morning at 5:15 a.m. Yes, that's not an exaggeration. That's not when I get up. That's when I have to be on a plane flying. For those of you that have never been to Burlington International Airport, allow me to describe to you the wonders that is this airport. You pull up pretty much any time of day. You find a parking spot within 10 minutes in the only parking garage. You walk across the street to the airport. You check in at one of 6 counters. You go, if you're lucky, you're flying out of the terminal, which I won't be. You're flying out of the terminal, which has the Skinny Pancake Crepe Restaurant, though it wouldn't be open tomorrow morning anyway at that point. And then you get on your flight and count the number of people you know who are also flying out that morning. That's usually my experience. I don't tend to see people I know on the 5:15 flights, but on the rare occasions when I'm flying out a little later, I usually see someone I know. And I fly to Florida so I can train with Bill Wallace, aka Superfoot, and the rest of the clan. It'll be a good time. Meeting up with a number of people who've been on the show. So let's go through this list of people who've been on Martial Arts Radio. Then I'll tell you about the episode of Martial Arts Radio that dropped today. So Kiosi Dennis Campo and Master Paul Milholen, of course, Bill Superfoot Wallace, Master Terry Dow. Who else is going to be there? Shihan Grant Campbell should be there. Master Chris Natsky should be there. Kyoshi Rob Buckland may be there. Master John Graham should be there. Quite a few folks. Great people. And these are great people to train with. It's a lot of fun. And it's a weekend of training. I've had a few questions. Are you going to go outside? Are you going to go to the beach? No, we don't do any of those things. The fact that we are in Florida in June, I think is already ridiculous. It's the thing that I like least about this trip. This is like 3 years in a row. 3 years in a row that we've done this. First year I went, it was in March. That was much nicer. But the pro to flying in June in Vermont is that you're not going to get stranded because of snow. And you can get stranded because of snow pretty much November through March or April. So it's not a bad thing. All right. Episode 401 dropped today, and also episode 400 is out. If you were looking for that as audio, that is up. Episode 401 is titled, Should Martial Arts Be Taught for Money? And in that, I interview consultant Professor Chris Rizzo, grew and ran a very large martial arts school, and now helps other people do that. He's got some great ads on Facebook. We talk a bit about this, about how I found him. But I reached out to him, and bottom line, he's stirring the pot a little bit for some people, depending on your perspective. And so we had a great conversation about martial arts and whether or not it should be taught for money. We go, I play devil's advocate at times, and it was a good conversation. So I got some questions here I'm going to answer. So tomorrow's episode, obviously, if you're a regular listener, you know I didn't do an episode on Monday, Memorial Day, because I didn't get to bed until 2:30 in the morning. But I have a plan for tomorrow. My plan is that I'm going to record an episode today. Yes, I will put my bathrobe back on. I want you to have a full experience. And I will upload that, and I believe I can schedule the release time. So that's the plan. We fingers crossed that will work. If you ask me some questions promptly after this episode, within 2-3 hours, I should be able to actually, no, I think I'm going to have to do this right away. So I'll probably make up some questions. But if you ask some questions, I'll answer them either today or tomorrow or Monday. I'll answer them at some point. So let's get to the questions. Boom, 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 boom. All right. What do we got? How effective is it to use imagery in martial arts? Good day, Laura. I think using imagery or visualizations is incredibly powerful in martial arts, out of martial arts. It can do a lot of great stuff. And there's science that backs this up. So if you don't believe me, go do some research. Now, if you're not sure what we're talking about, imagery, visualization, the idea that, let's say I really want, okay. Let's bring this into a martial arts context. Let's say you are going to be competing at a competition. Obviously, competing at a competition, you're going to compete in forms at a tournament, and you've been practicing your form, but you want to make sure that you're nailing the high points. Well, you have full control over what you see in your mind. So you can sit down, close your eyes, and practice that form and make sure you're nailing everything, that it all looks perfect. Your stances are beautiful. And there is correlation between the way you see yourself doing things and the way you actually do them. I've used visualization quite a bit. In fact, I'll be honest, the last time I competed in forms, it was last year. No, it was 3 years ago. Before I stepped out there the first time, I competed at 2 competitions. I hadn't done my form the form I use in competition more than a couple times in the year prior, and I maybe did it 6 times before I competed. Total 6. what did I do? I videoed myself and watched it, and I visualized. And it's incredibly powerful. And while I'm not going to say it was the best I've ever done, it was good. It came out really well. And I owe that not to any one thing, but I know that the visualization, the mindset, that stuff really helped. All right. Do you think that firearms should have a place in someone's self-defense plan? I think they can. I don't think they should. Plenty of people have very strong feelings one way or the other about firearms, and it is inappropriate for me to tell people whether or not they should own firearms. If you don't want to have firearms, it's fine. Just as if you don't want to do kung fu, you don't have to. I'm a big fan of people doing what they want to do as long as it doesn't harm anyone else. And I think there seems to be a higher rate of ownership of firearms among martial artists than non. That is completely anecdotal, and I may be completely wrong. But just based on my experience and the commentary I hear on social media, it seems like martial artists are a little bit more open to the ownership and usage of firearms. I see firearms as a tool. I own firearms. And I've never had to use them. There have been some concerning scenarios that have occurred outside of my door where I have gone to the door with a firearm because you don't know, right? I have when it comes to preparedness, self-defense, etc., I have a saying. You can be underprepared or you can be over-prepared. You will never be perfectly prepared. And thus, having a firearm helps push you towards over-prepared. Maybe it lands you firmly there. I don't want my response on this question to turn into a political thing, so I'm trying to choose my words carefully. Yeah, I think we'll leave it there. I think there are plenty of other things that you can substitute. When I hike, I will often carry. Sometimes, if I'm hiking in an area that is less populated, I will carry a firearm. If I'm hiking in an area that is more populated, where I think it is likely to cause concern that I have one, I will carry pepper spray. Big old can of pepper spray in my backpack. I can grab it. Because I don't want to get into a sparring match with a bear. That's really what it comes down to. I'm a decent fighter. I don't know that I would win against a bear. I don't want to find out. All right, final question for today. How do martial artists deal with pain so effectively? That's a great question. So when you look at pain, I think pain and your response to pain comes from a couple different things. Why are you experiencing the pain? And what is your experience with pain historically? How used to pain are you? If you've just started martial arts and you get kicked in the head the first time, you're probably going to react more strongly than someone who gets kicked in the head at the same force who's been training, 5, 10, 20 years. They've experienced it. I've taken some good shots. What's that noise? Oh, that's my calendar saying it's time to empty the shredder in the office. Yes, I stay organized at that level. Because I have to. All right. So experience with pain is huge. I don't know about you, but I'm able to deal with pain more now than I was, 10, 20 years ago. And not just because I'm older. I also feel the why is pretty important. If you're dealing with pain because of something that you enjoy, something you love, I think that matters. Obviously, as a man, I've never given birth to a child. But in having conversation with women who have given birth, there's something to be said for the why in that context. I don't think anybody's going to endure that degree of pain unnecessarily. But obviously giving birth is a pretty amazing thing. You get a baby, that's pretty cool. Obviously I'm being a little understated here. So when you think about what goes on in martial arts, we get banged up quite often. We get sore, we get hurt. Why do we do that? Because we love the training, because we love the results, because it makes us better. There's a whole bunch of whys. Your why may be completely different than mine or anyone else's. But as you experience that pain more and more frequently, in pursuit of your why, you're better able to shake that off. You're better able to separate the negative side of the pain from the positive side, because there's a positive side there. If the first time you get hit is on the street in a confrontation, you're probably not going to react well to that. But if you've been training for a while and you've taken some shots in the gym, and you head out and you take some shots on the street, you're going to be better able to deal with that because you've experienced it, and because your why, saving your own life, is pretty relevant in that situation. Homework coming in a minute, but I would love to have you ask some questions. We've been getting the same questions, not the same questions, we've been getting questions from the same people lately. I would love some questions for some new folks. Best place to do that, drop your comments, your questions below on this video. I will answer them. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, because we do this show every weekday morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube. But of course, you can catch it later when it posts, and you can catch it in audio on the First Cup with Jeremy audio feed, which you can find in Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and pretty much anywhere else. If you like the show, do me a favor, share it, like it, comment. What's the thing YouTubers say? Subscribe, like, comment. Something like that. All right. So as you go into your day today, I would like you to consider the things that you do that hurt and the things that do not. The things that you tolerate, the things that you see as valuable in pursuit of your goals. Pain comes in all degrees. Pain can be physical, it can be emotional, it can be mental. Think of it as stress. Anything under the heading of stress. There is stress that helps you towards your goals. There is stress that you just kind of have to deal with. And then there's stress that's manufactured. I'm not saying you have to change anything, but identify what stresses go in which bucket. You may find some stuff that you're manufacturing that doesn't have to be there, that you choose to let go of. And that can make you a much happier person. I hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you back here tomorrow if I can figure it out. But if not, probably Monday. There's a chance there's something special coming for the Monday episode. We'll see if we can work that out. Because I get in at like 11 o'clock, 11:30 Sunday night. So you might get Friday and Monday, maybe recorded episodes. We'll see. But I've already got a fun plan for Monday. So if we can make that work. All right. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Leave me some comments and go check out episode 401.